Today we start to put all the information together and we talk about how you can become a vendor. Hope the last few days have been kind to all of you. I have less hair. I feel like I lost 10 pounds of hair. That's always fun. I always think I look like so weird after I get a haircut. It just blows my mind. I don't feel like the same person. I don't know what to tell you. Does anyone else feel that way? Let me know. Because honestly, maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm crazy. It's very possible. Today we're going to bring some concepts together and talk about how you can become a vendor starting today. As in, today you get the process started and you start rolling with it as time goes on. We'll put some numbers behind it and we'll use the knowledge we've learned thus far. All of this is just my opinion. There are multiple ways to go about it and multiple different types of vendors you can be when it comes to the card game world. There's different things you can do. We're going to go over different scenarios on this channel. We're going to go over starting a sealed product type of vendor today. So before you start wheeling and dealing, there's actually 2 steps you need to do first. First, you need to raise money. Without money, you're not buying any sealed booster boxes. Kind of straightforward. Back when I started this a while ago, I sold a lot of my personal collection to get the money to start this. How you guys get your money is up to you. Maybe you're working a little bit extra, maybe putting some savings away, whatever the case may be. But you have to get money, that's first. You just need to get a business license and a distributor. Once you get that business license, you can get a distributor. Once you have a distributor, you can start getting distributor pricing when it comes to sealed boxes, and that's what you need to make your markups. And those are the pre-steps. Now we start going into the real meat and potatoes of all this. Just as a bit of a throwback, my first big sealed product move was Circuit Break, evenly matched the set, if you guys remember that. What I started with was 2 cases. I flipped 2 cases in a matter of a weekend. For this example, we're going to assume you have enough money to pre-order and buy the next big set that's coming out. We won't worry about Rise of the Duelist. Let's just give you some time to raise some money and we'll go into the next set after that. So, number 3, you're going to go ahead and you're going to pre-order the next set. That way you also have time to get more money in case anything happens. You maybe have time to get more product. Leaving yourself on the time window, yeah, you gotta be a little bit patient. But patience does go a long way. And it's good to have patience, because without patience you can't make those long-term over time gains. While you're pre-ordering your next set, in that time window, you can start to advertise yourself a little bit and throw yourself out there. So we'll just call this the advertising stage. When it came to me getting started in this, I used my knowledge as a Yu-Gi-Oh player in the community to help pivot my position in this. It also helped that I started by selling singles to get to this point, but I was able to help people, like tell them, hey, this will be good for you, these singles are good for you, this set's coming out, evenly matched. Everyone should have evenly matched. Oh, you like crawlers? Circuit Break's crawling with crawlers. And then you just throw yourself out there. That's it. That's all you do. You make sure that your base is comfortable with you, they all look at you and respect you, maybe that you're friends with them, acquaintances, whatever the case may be. Just make sure that at the end of the day, you want to build your base on your loyal customers to start with. That's what I did. I threw myself out there. I told everyone, I'm going to order some Circuit Break boxes. You guys can buy them off me. I'm starting a local business, technically, and any support you guys can give me would be great. That's really all I did. When I first got started, this was years ago. Don't need much more than that. So now let's actually talk about the buying. This is where we start the math talk. It feels like an eternity since I've actually been in here last. Because of the whole global situation right now, I'm not here too much. But we have some work to do. So I'm just gonna get things set up. It's been so long. It's still April. Did you know that? I guess I need to fix that. Unless we're still in April and I'm just, in the wrong month. And that's still the computer. Just like a pro tip, don't buy like a $400 computer on clearance if you're planning on running accounting software, because it'll actually just destroy your computer. It's super slow. That was a big oops on my part. Feel free to look at some snippets from my life. Nothing that exciting, but if you do want to see more of this day to day, let me know in the comments and we'll see if we can make it happen. I love the math talk. The math talk is great. I love math. So we know we're buying 2 cases. That's 24 boxes. We'll assume that, when you keep in mind shipping and everything, whatever, 65 a box. We're also going to be rounding off tax totals, rounding off the tax. Always factor tax into your equations. Normally lowball prices on these videos, to keep in mind that you'll need to, pay tax and get tax back later, whatever. So we're sticking with the numbers as a basic example, but do keep in mind that there are taxes when it comes to this kind of stuff, depending on where you are. Some greater, some lower, whatever. Anyway, so this total investment is $1,560. Now you're going to have to sell the boxes, right? That's how you're getting started. So you're going to go ahead, you sell all 24 boxes. You sell them 90 a box. So 24 times 90, you're making $21.60. That's a $600 profit on your initial investment, which isn't bad. Over the matter of a weekend, you made $600. Your new cash account balance is $21.60. Now let's keep the train going. We're heading, after this set comes out or right around there, we're probably also going to get the Dual Devastator of this year. I assume we'll get something like that this year. There's no reason why it isn't, but we'll assume that the next sealed product after this is something like that. It might be, it might not be. This again is just an example to get your brain rolling, to get the numbers crunching. This is just to get you guys to understand how the process works. Dual Demolisher. That's what we're going to call this fancy set in our brain. Double D's, Dual Demolisher, right there. That's what it's called. It's going to be great. We're going to assume our cost on these is $24 per thing. There's probably 12 in a case, and these type of things sell a little bit better. So, depending on your community size, let's just say we order 60 of them total. We're going to go ahead and spend $1,440 on this. Keep in mind now that our moving bank balance is $720. It's good to have a little cash buffer in case anything happens, or you have other expenses, which we'll talk about in a moment. Now we're going to assume we sell all 60, because you probably are in your community. Let's be real, these things are usually pretty good. And you're going to sell them for $40 each. The simple math behind this is $2,400. You add that to your moving bank balance, and you get $31.20. Isn't it kind of cool how with 2 set releases, assuming you sell everything, you're almost doubling your money? Actually, you are doubling your money. Look at that. That just worked out conveniently. Didn't even plan that. Do you think you have what it takes to be the best? like no one ever was? If you think that's true, then look no further. Your opportunity to shine will come right here at Mario's Gaming World. We plan on starting a Pokemon Sword and Shield VGC League. With store credit prizing and a community growing, we see no better way than to have everyone fight each other to see who is the best, in a friendly and fun fashion, of course. We are still in quarantine. While this community can exist online and will likely start online, eventually we will make this a physical community where people in person can have the chance to battle each other, have fun, just shoot the stuff, and have a good time. We're looking forward to seeing your interest, and comment if you want to participate. So now this final number, this 3120, that just is going to be impacted on whatever expenses you have. Back then I did have a small office space like I do before, paid $150 a month for it or something like that. I also did a lot of deliveries, maybe $50 in gas a month worth of deliveries. If this is the course of 2 months, we'll assume that's $400 in expenses. We'll assume you also spent $400 in expenses, turning this number into 2720. That's as far as this example is going to go. It's a safe bet that these two sets probably happened within a couple weeks of each other. Usually the card games do release product after product after product when they do. So you'll have these spurts where you can just grow your money like this by buying a certain amount, selling that amount, and just watching the money roll in that way. That's as simple as it gets. You can follow this process. You can look into becoming your own card vendor when it comes to sealed product. Honestly, I had success with it. I have no reason to believe why it wouldn't be successful for other people, unless you're just, rude, or your community doesn't exist. If your community doesn't exist, then you obviously can't do this. As always, I'm curious to know what you guys have to think about this kind of stuff, whether you're thinking about doing it, and this was helpful, or you are doing something like this, and you're following a similar model, or you did something completely different. Let me know in the comments, because I love reading that stuff. I love reading other people's insights and how they do things. I really like watching people's brains work when it comes to making money and doing something they love. I hope you enjoyed this week's second video. If you haven't watched the first one this week, definitely go back and do that, but 2 videos a week isn't too bad. Try it out, see how it goes. If it goes positively, that's great. I hope that you do take today's material to heart, even if I've maybe convinced one of you to start vendoring cards, or maybe pursue it more actively. That's a win in my books, and the more the merrier. I just want people to realize their full potential, and this is an option to do that. Anyway, I'm out of here. I'll see you next time. As always, just stay safe, stay healthy, and before you know it, we'll be back in full swing in no time. See you later. I wasn't going to let another video go by without any food in it, so we're going to go get some Domino's. I think that this tiny gluten-free pizza will get the job done. Looks so good. I'm going to save some of this pizza, or most of this pizza, for our next plan. We have a Saturday night tournament to hold relatively shortly. Yeah, it's not an in-person tournament. It's going to be over Discord and Yu-Gi-Oh! Pro, but I still like to be at the shop anyway. It's nice to be there. And that's where we'll leave off this episode. I'll see you guys at the shop next time.